Hey, what's up, everybody? We are here with another Culture Minute, and this week we got some spicy topics for you all. I'm Gentel, Sharrie.
I'm Sarina, Renee, the one-stop shop. I'm media host, motivational speaker, writer. I do it all.
And we just your boy, King Jaquel Martin, director, actor, author, motivational speaker. We out here.
We out here for real. And another thing that's out here is the Megan Thee Stallion diss, or her track Hiss. Let me just say her single she just put out, Hiss. She fired a couple shots at a few people, including one person, Nicki Minaj. She said, basically Nicki needs to follow Megan's law. But it's sad because I love Nicki and Megan. Like, they're my two favorite rappers. Like, I hate that they're going through this, but, it's in the news and we got to talk about it. So basically, she said her line, but it stems from Nicki's song. I don't know if this is all allegedly. I don't know if this is true or not, but her Red Ruby song, she talks about, I ain't messing with horses since Christopher Reeves, because Christopher Reeves was paralyzed after falling off of a horse. And she's relating it to, basically like Megan getting shot in her foot. So that's just the word on the street. Don't take it from
Allegedly,
right.
So, I mean, what's y'all's take on it?
I don't know, because sometimes people be stretching stuff, dog. What if she ain't even talking about Megan? You know what I mean? I mean, the lyrics sound like the situation, but they never had beef. So it's kind of like, is this really a thing? You know what I'm saying? So I know Megan said what she said, but did it really go against Nicki? You feel what I'm saying? Like, kind of reading between the lines. I'm trying to play good cop, bad cop type situation. But you never know.
Right,
you
like,
feel me? So it's like, I don't know, because I kind of like them both, and they really never had beef, so it's kind of like it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. When I heard about it, I'm like, yo, where does this come from? They was just dial together. They were straight fire, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I was like, oh, man. But you know what, though? I love battle rap, so I'm all for the smoke. I ain't gonna lie to you. Go ahead and get it. But there got to be some rules of engagement when it comes to it, because I be playing Xbox, right? And we be talking trash about each other personally, and we'll never bring up people's family and stuff. Certain things got to be off limits. So now that this juicy topic is blowing up, I feel like, yo, why we got to bring the kids into it?
Mm-hmm.
Why we got to take shots at other people? Because other people have to deal with social media, and we know social media, the monster that it could be, and these kids still got to grow up in this world. So I think we got to have certain rules so we don't have another situation when it comes to rap battle that turns into Biggie and Pop stuff that don't need to be. You know what I mean? Let's just keep it clean. Let's just keep it battle rap. Let's just keep it for the culture.
Yeah, I agree. And it's funny because Megan Thee Stallion posted on her story, she just started laughing at it, So it's kind of like, I mean, what Nicki said was kind of funny, ain't even gonna lie. But, being that Megan laughed about it, I think we all should laugh about it. She take it to heart. And like you said, just keep it clean. If you're going to battle rap, but, do it with integrity and tact. So I get it.
Here's another point. I hate when other cultures don't understand the history of hip hop and how MCs used to battle all the time. I don't want another culture trying to manipulate it like, oh, two angry Black women. Oh, look at Black people, they're at it again. And it's not even that, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, no, let's just keep it clean. Let's just keep it fun. Let's just keep it hip hop, man.
Yeah.
Because I heard also, just allegedly, another reason why this is happening is because she did her song with Cardi B, the WAP song. So Nicki wasn't really messing with that. So I'm just letting y'all know what I've heard on the streets. I love Nicki. I love Megan, just putting it out there, but that's just what's on the street.
But how long ago, though?
Yeah.
And this is 2024? Come on now.
You better talk your talk. It is. We in 2024.
I'm just saying, y'all sliding in with this foolishness.
Yeah.
Allegedly, if that's true. You feel
look, she slid in like Cat Williams. She on smoke. She's shooting everybody.
Yeah, I mean, this was definitely some steamy rap beef for real, but I just wish that we could see them like on a song together, because that probably would be the hardest record alive. Because when I was going through this, I realized they don't have a song together, unless am I mistaken?
No.
Yeah, I mean, shit, y'all got on the track together, Nicki and Megan.
Oh, let's take it a step farther. Nicki, Megan, and Cardi.
Oh my gosh. Y'all would break the whole entire
Okay. We
internet
spilling
for
tea.
real.
Yeah, I'm talking about we pouring gas on 2024. We need
Yes.
making Megan Cardi that would go crazy. You feel me?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And
Yes.
here's the cool thing about it. You know, when rappers all rap on the same track, who gonna have the best verse?
We shouldn't even make it about that because they all gonna be fires. And that's why the dissing be going on. We ain't no.
You know, I'm looking for the best verse. Because, you know, when you had Eminem and Jay-Z on the same track, you know, we was talking about him had that heat. He had the best verse. So it's just part of the culture who
Right.
gonna have the best verse. You know what I mean?
But you know, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna give an example, how you gave that song. But when Kendrick, ASAP, and Drake, when they were all on, I love that problem. Like, you know, that's how I felt about those verses.
So I was gonna say, you remember Monica and Brandy? They had that one song when they were battling each other. The Boy Is Mine, right? So we need another something like that. But being that they have been in the blogs and on social media about beef, they need to talk about their beef. And then the video will kind of like steer towards that. And then at the end, they all like Destiny's Child's, girl, I know you've been crying, but you need a little bit talk.
That'd be a vibe because I mean, here's the thing. It would be something that would be unexpected. You feel me? Because everybody thinks it's gonna go left, but what if it just actually went right? You feel me?
Yes, that would be dope.
That would be. So another thing that has happened that's just put social media all up in a roar is the Young Thug and the Mariah the Scientist gel call leaked. I just didn't understand why they leaked the call. Like, I could see if there was some type of information within the call, but it was just like a normal couple call. Like, and now everybody's like, Daddy, am I your baby? Like, that's the whole little like subject line on like social media. But I didn't. Right. Meek Mill was like, this is a lawsuit. Drake was like, is this Atlanta social media promo? Like, what's going on here? The call really shouldn't have been leaked. Like, why'd y'all leak the call? Like, let's grow up. Let's grow up.
Yeah. So first and foremost, you know, if it was leaked by, you know, I want to say the police department, is that really a lawsuit though? Because it's in their possession. You feel me?
Yeah, because I mean, when you're doing those calls, they say everything's being recorded. So like things can be leaked, but it's still like, but why?
Yeah. You know, because they always trying to put a black man down, you know what they say? But at the end of the day, you know, I just feel like, you know, I don't know. It's just a sticky situation. Like, we don't know why it was leaked. It shouldn't have been leaked. Like you said, it was just a plain boyfriend, girlfriend conversation. It wasn't like no juicy topics or anything, or they're talking about, oh yeah, when I get out, I'm gonna bust this nigga, da da da, whatever. It wasn't nothing like that. You know, it was a genuine conversation. So, you know, I'm confused myself as to why.
Well, I want to know who leaked it first and foremost before we start talking about lawsuits. And then I think we need to get clarity on the law. Once we have clarity, whether it's right or wrong, then we know what direction that we can move in. Because the same way they could say if you do the crime, you got to do the time, that's just not a one-way street. So if they did violate his, you know, violate the law or his privacy issues or whatever else, then there should be a penalty for it. But if they didn't, then it is what it is. Yeah.
What if she did it?
Then it must be some type of PR stunt.
Possible. He got a new album dropping?
You never know.
I
but
can't.
Even if he did do it, I think the conversation only bits because it benefits him because it shows a softer side. Like, you know what I'm saying? Between him and his woman or whatever else, the whole conversation and social media, we got to stop it. Everything got to be the new challenge because now everybody like, hey. So
you know, we don't take nothing serious around here.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
We always gonna make a joke out of something. So
laugh at our pain.
Yeah, but you know, I wish the best for him. He should have been out, to be honest with you. I just feel like they dragging everything for no reason. Yes, he did it. He served his time. I understand. Because it's people
my arm was itchy.
you know, it's people that had similar situations and has been out already. So I don't understand why he's still in there, to be honest with you.
It's that bag he make, that type of bread he making. What it is, you know. I said I don't care. I believe it's because of the color of his skin. I believe when you get to a certain level and you make a certain amount of money, you know, we got to hold you a little longer. We got to break it down a little longer. You know, we got to keep this under our control. It's just an opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Well, you know, the Chief fans are swag surfing with Taylor Swift, and everybody's trying to figure out where's the swag surfing come from? Where did it originate? And it came from the artist Fly when he released Swag Surf, and I think it was like around like 2009. All the HBCU campuses picked it up as like a ritual type of song to get everybody hyped in the community. So they were the audience was a little confused when they saw Taylor up there swag surfing, but come to find out, Willie Gay, who plays on the Chiefs, told the people in the booth to like turn the swag surfing on. So they just gotta get hip to the culture.
That part.
First of all, they weren't even swag surfing, dog. They was floating. They was like,
they were.
That was the most unseasoned swag and surf I've ever seen in my life. I was cringing. It was, oh my gosh. They didn't even they didn't have like no little, you know, we get down with it, you know.
They're swatting flies.
Right. Like you go, they hit the Carlton on them, you know what I'm saying? You know how Carlton do a little thing. But I was just kind of, you know, I felt a certain type of way because, like you said, our culture is the one that started the swag and surf.
Yes.
Whatever. And then because they have Taylor Swift, it's all popular now. Come on now. Like we've been doing that. We trailblazers. And even on TikTok and stuff, they always taking our stuff and taking credit. But you ain't finna take credit for this. Shots fired.
Snapper flag. That's a snapper flag. You know, we've always been the way. No point in flag is urgent. And they've been trying to ride the way for the longest. My thing is like, if we at the Chiefs game, why are we talking about Taylor so much? The Chiefs are working to win the Super Bowl, but during the game, all you see is Taylor. No hate, no, you know what I'm saying? No shade, but it's about Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes and their moment on their journey of trying to conquest a Super Bowl. But it's bang, bang, Niner gang over here. Niner taking a Super Bowl. We winning the chip. I said that swag and surf on them L's like that.
On that note, we're going to take a quick little break.
Ooh, I gotta get that off my chest. I'm sorry.
Give a shout out to our proud sponsors, 24/7 Live Culture. And we are back from commercial break, and we just want to take a little time out to teach you guys the correct way how to swag surf. So we're going to do a little tutorial with the
tutorial.
So here we go. Y'all ready?
Let's do it.
Hey, okay, period.
That's all. I'm tired of getting old. I'm tired of getting old.
Ooh, that was good, y'all.
Got my little cardio for this morning.
Little Jesus juice, little Jesus drip.
And that's going to bring us into our next topic, the lifestyle of being an actor in LA. Woo! Now, this is going to be a conversation for the books. That was my dog. Excuse my dog. But like I said, it's going to be a conversation for the books. Mm-hmm. I am an actor that lives in LA. I moved out here 5 years ago. So I guess I'll tell my story a little bit. And when I came out here, I had no plan, really. I came out here on a refund check from grad school, found my roommate on Facebook. moved into an apartment, had no job, had no car, just kind of winging it. So I went on foot, took a couple Ubers to try to find a waitressing job. It took me a couple weeks to get hired. My refund check was going down because the inflation out here, it wasn't as bad as it is now, but it was still expensive to live in LA, especially if you didn't have a job. So all my necessities that I needed was like tanking my account. So I found a job at the last minute where I could like figure something out at Tom's Urban. Shout out to y'all, because y'all definitely like kept your girl afloat out here waitressing. Like the tips be tipping when you waitressing. Like I ain't gonna hold you. Like, you know, shout out to the team there. And I also got into acting classes. I reached out to a friend. Her name's Katisha, and I was like, hey, do you know any acting classes? She recommended me to one, and just started getting my headshots, was able to find an agent through my acting class, the audition lab with Phaedra Harris. And honestly, it wasn't easy because I was still trying to figure out how I was going to like live the way I want to live and then like pursue my acting career. But we'll get more into that after y'all tell y'all's little tad bit.
Hey.
Go ahead, King.
Well, my journey is a little crazy. So I was wrongfully assaulted by the police in South Carolina. I just wanted to start fresh, you know. So when I first moved here, I was doing security. And I'm around all these stars, Jack Black, Morris Chestnut, and I was embarrassed. I was like, bro, I don't want to be in front of these people like this as a security guard. This ain't what we talked about, God. You know, this ain't what we talked about. So my friend played Tupac in the Death Row Chronicles. I had just finished my book, and I said, I'm going to go to New York Film Academy, where I actually met Gentel at, you know what I mean, at New York Film Academy to become a director. And so I was like, how am I going to be in school 6-7 days a week and audition if I'm in school? You know, that ain't part of the plan. So I wound up going to school anyway and had an audition for Ballers. 4 months later, I get a call from my agent. They're like, yo, we need to talk to you at 3 o'clock. And I'm like, yo, they finna get rid of me. They finna fire me. 3 o'clock come, they call me. And they was like, have you heard the news? I was like, thank you for representing me. I appreciate you. They was like, what are you talking about? I said, oh, y'all finna let me go. They said, no, you book Ballers. I book what? Right? Guess where I booked Ballers at? The same place I was doing security. So the same people that I was doing security with was the same ones walking me to my trailer. Instead of me being cocky, I was humble, saying that if I can make it, you can make it. And then I got on the set of Ballers. Season 4, episode 10, they do a show about Colin Kaepernick, you know, when they were talking about shut up and dribble, that was really big. They found out that I was the soldier that got wrongfully assaulted by the police, and they took me in front of Ballers, and I told him I wrote a book. He said, go get your book. Lucky I had a box of books. Y'all know the same people I was been watching and praying to be on TV with was the same ones that I was giving autographs to for my book that I wrote. So it don't matter where you come from. It just matters you being consistent and you being willing to go through your nose to get to your yes.
Amen.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. So my situation, it was it was crazy because my daughter graduated from high school. I'm from Florida, Jacksonville originally, but we moved here from Tampa. And when she graduated, I was sitting in my bed downtown in Tampa, and I was just like, okay, God, she's about to go off to college, which was the original plan. And I was like, what should I do? Like, I have so many projects that are written, you know, and a vision of California, Los Angeles came to my head. And I've been here multiple times for work and award shows and stuff. And I was like, I know you don't want me to go to LA, because anybody that really knows me knows I always say I would never go to LA, because as a visitor, it was always dirty to me. Right. So I was like, I don't think I'm hearing him right. So then, you know, I got another vision of me being in LA. So I talked to my daughter and I was like, hey, how do you feel about moving to LA? And she was like, I was thinking the same thing, because, you know, she's a model. And I was like, why you ain't say nothing? She was like, because I know you ain't like it like that. So I ain't want to kind of, you know, whatever. So boom, I'm at home, get my stuff together as far as like what I'm going to do when I get there. I had a whole plan. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I had pitches that I was going to go to different companies. I thought I was going to walk into Netflix and be like, hey, my name is Sarina, whatever. It ain't work out like that.
Right.
But long story short, I had a real estate company that I was working with. It was what is it called? A not transportation. What's it called? A relocation company. And they were sending me different places to stay and everything. And the lady, we found one. And when I got there, she was like, well, when I was supposed to get there, she was like, I got the keys when you get off the plane, blah, blah, whatever. We gets off the plane. I'm calling her. She's nowhere to be found.
Oh.
So I ain't have keys to my place. So me and my daughter, we were in and out of hotels or whatever. That started, depleting my savings and everything. And then from there, it was a couple of days I had to sleep in my car or whatever. And I was like, you know what? At first, I felt kind of weird about it because I had my daughter with me. Like if it was me by myself, I would have thugged it out, right?
Right.
But then I was like, everybody that's successful stayed in their car. So I was like, I see you, God. I see you. I
Talk about it.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay. So then, at that time, the strike was going on. So it really wasn't a work. So I took a big risk coming here, but I didn't care because I'm a risk taker, right? So I was going to all of the strikes, the protests and all this like that. I went to the one at WB.
Warner Brothers, yeah.
Brothers, right. And I remember I met a lady. She's a writer, actress. Her husband is a producer or whatever. And it was like a really simple conversation. We got each other's number and that was it. So long story short, after that, it was like ever since I met that lady, like things have been happening for me. I came out here to pitch my scripts or whatever, because I knew that it was a strike, but I also knew building relationships first. Once the strike is over with, people were like, oh, I remember you needed some more, So I was like, okay, I've been on red carpets. I've been presenting awards at award shows. Been doing this type of work. You know what I mean? I've also have a feature in the movie Starstruck. Like I came you understand what I'm saying? So, and then my daughter, she's been doing her thing with her modeling stuff or whatever, on multiple red carpets and things like that. And, like you said, King, if you have a vision for what you're trying to go for, pursue it. It don't matter who don't understand. I didn't even tell my family I was moving here. And the only reason why I did that is because a lot of times people try to project their fears on you. You understand? And they don't try to do it. It's just, oh, well, what about this? And do you have a place to stay? Or that's not what God told me to do. That's not the vision he gave me. And a lot of people are not going to understand the vision that God gave you because he didn't give it to them.
Yeah.
So, you got to make sure you have the right circle around you in order to get to where you're going to. And I can honestly say, I'm glad that I stuck it out. I only been here for now 8 months.
Hey.
And you've been doing it.
Man, listen, I've been hitting the ground running. You hear what I'm saying? And it's people that's been here for so long. Like, how did you get this opportunity? I've been trying to do it. Man, I came out here working, period.
Right.
And all of my hard work is paying off. So
they'd be like, how did you get an agent so fast? I sent out 100 headshots. How many you sent out? Well, I sent out 5. Well, that gave me 95 more chances than you. You know what I mean? You got to be consistent and disciplined in what you want. And I always say that you'll never tell me one dictionary that you'll find success before sacrifice, failing at the opportunity, because you got to fail at the opportunity to get the success.
Yeah. And in LA, like how you were saying, Sarina, I also got a feeling to like move to LA. It just I kept on getting the bug, like, you need to move now. And I'm glad I followed my gut feeling. And then also when I moved to LA, I can relate to you as well when you said, oh, I'm just going to walk into Netflix and they're just going to pick up my script. Because I just knew as soon as I got headshots, I was going to be booked, series, regular role. And sometimes it does happen like that. People just really, God blesses them and it happens. And then sometimes you have to, go through some things to finally get that role. But all I got to say is, like, if you really want this acting life, you got to be prone to rejection. Rejection's okay. If you do get rejected, it's not because of you. It could be so many different things. They have a team of people who need to say, okay, do we like this person? Everybody has to say yes. So it might not just be you. You could have a amazing audition, but then they want to go with someone who's an A-list celebrity. And, you'll get to that status, but you just have to keep on pushing until you get to it and break those doors open and create opportunities for yourself. And then just keep on putting yourself out there, go to the events, go network. Sometimes people are like, oh, you're just going to another party. No, I'm making connections. You never know who you could meet, and they could be shooting something tomorrow and you're on set.
Right. That's what happened to me.
LA's word of mouth. It's really word of mouth.
Yeah,
It's funny
that's what happened to me because I was covering the carpet for a celebrity basketball tournament. And a casting agent saw me on the carpet and was like, "Hey, do you do acting?" I was like, "Yeah." I said, "I pretty much do it all. I write as well." I was like, "What you need?" And he was like, "Well, I'm casting for this movie Starstruck." And he was like, "Are you available in 2 days?" I was like, "Sure." And that's how I got on because like you said, Gentel, you have to be in the right predicaments at the right time. You have to go out to these events or whatever. It's not just about a party. Anybody that know me, every time I go out, I'm networking. I don't go out to be, shaking my behind or whatever. Yeah, you might see me a little, jug here and there.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I be doing my little gig.
But at the end of the day, my ultimate goal is to level up. I came out here to level up.
Yeah.
And I have so many people that's dependent on me, that looks up to me. And I can't fail at the end of the day. Not for just myself, but for the people behind me and the future generations as well.
And I look at it like this: you can tell who you are when you get told no. See, a lot of people hate the no, but the no is actually powerful because you can tell how bad you want what you want because you wouldn't let no stop you from getting where you want. And then your attitude about the no, because you never know who's going to be the person to bless you. I met Gentel, and Gentel said she wanted to be an actress. She was excited at NIFA. And I was like, okay, cool. And she was humble and cool about it. And the funny thing is we have a friend who her old teacher, I was in Alaska, and her teacher was my brother's best friend. So that's how Gentel became good friends, right? And then I had a movie,
Dr. Rowe.
Right? And then I wound up casting Gentel in my movie Twitter Fingers that I directed. And then all of a sudden, Gentel was the one who blessed me with the opportunity to be on the podcast with Omar and Adonis. And then Omar will wind up being in my film. So you never know how you never understand the ramifications or the ripple effect of how you treat people. Yep. Because the same person could be the same person blessing you. So I don't care if they're an extra, I don't care if they're a PA, it doesn't matter their position. If you treat everybody with respect because that's who you are, people will remember that. If you treat your agents when you get an agent, not like an agent, but a person, they'll remember that. Don't just call them saying, I want a job, why am I getting booked? Hey, happy anniversary, happy birthday. Do the little things and check in on people, and people will check back in on you because you can't get blessed without being a blessing.
That's true. And it's funny, I know we have to wrap up this segment, but I want to say how I met Gentel as well. So this young lady was looking for a media host to cover a 5-week training where we went to the Los Angeles Southwest College, and we taught the young ladies how to be media hosts and things like that. So I'm also a part of the Women of the NFL organization. So a young lady that I've been, blessed to know over the years, we don't talk every day. She reached out to me and was like, hey, she was like, you in LA, right? I was like, yeah. She was like, I have somebody that's looking for a person to facilitate this program, and I thought about you. And I was like, okay. Then, I end up meeting Gentel because she was also a facilitator, and we just hit it off. We've been doing a lot of great things together. I'm here because of her, so I really appreciate you for this opportunity as well. So
no, you guys are great.
You guys
are great. Like y'all about y'all's business. Not only do y'all talk the talk, but y'all walk the walk. Like y'all embody what y'all supposed to do in this industry.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
No problem. And there's another industry that we're about to be talking about, and that's the discrimination with Black women in corporate America. And it's sad because we're in 2024 now. Why are we still dealing with discrimination? Why are we still not being treated like an equal? Not only do women not be treated like equals, but to be a Black woman, that's like another, like, you're even more underneath the surface. So I don't understand it. I wish things will change. It's just gender and the color of your skin. Like, why is that such a big thing? Is it a threat in corporate America? Like, what is it?
So I was in corporate years ago. I got out because, number one, I felt like I had other things I wanted to do outside of corporate America. That was number one. Number two, it was a lot of discrimination, not only for Black women, but just being a woman, period. Because you have males that was at the hierarchy of the company that felt like it was okay to disrespect the woman, right? So I had to build a tough exterior, which is why I'm the way I am today. Um, no nonsense. You know how I am, Gentel. Like, I don't let people play games with me or play with me in my face. You know what I'm saying? You know how I am. And I had to be like that because at the end of the day, I feel like when it comes to Black women in corporate, a lot of times people look at you as a threat, you know, because they know that you're more capable of doing a job. Um, a lot of times, you know, some of the men are even intimidated because they feel like you can take their job as well, you know. So you have to put that hard interior, but also have professionalism intact at the same time. But it's unfortunate because I've seen it. You know, I entered corporate America in like 2006. I ended corporate America in 2012. So I saw a lot, you know what I mean? And it's crazy because we don't get paid what our white counterparts get paid. We don't get treated like our white counterparts get treated. You know, you can say something like, "Oh, hey, Susan, I saw that you sent this email. I was a bit confused as to why, because I already sent this document." Susan can go to HR and start crying, and you can get rolled up for that. You know what I'm saying? So it's so weird how discrimination is with Black women, and it's still happening today, all the way down to our hair. We
Yes.
just got passed a law that you can wear your own hair to work. Like, who does that?
Yeah. No,
Nigga,
no
this
one
is what,
in the
yeah,
culture has to worry about that.
yeah, this is what God gave us. But you can have our white counterparts go into the office with pink hair. There's nothing said to them. But have a Black woman come in there with burgundy hair. Oh, you need to take that out.
Right.
You know
They,
what I'm saying?
they got access to all the Crayolas.
Right. But, you know, it's not fair across the board. And like you said, it's 2024. Why are we still dealing with that?
Because the system ain't changed. Because when they wrote these laws, they wrote it in favor of them, and we're still looked at as 3/5. Because if I allow you the same vantage point that I have, I might not be in the same position. Because I fear that you might treat me how I've treated you if you ever were to over succumb your situation. And what they don't understand is that's part of our greatness, the overcoming, the working extra hard, the putting in the extra hours. So that's why we're able to do the things that we do, because when it's a God-given gift and we're just talented like that. So I have other friends, right, that happen to be white that will admit, you know, I don't want to be treated, or I know how you've been treated. Would you retaliate?
Mm-hmm.
Would I be subjected to the same treatment that you've gone through? And I feel like sometimes they understand that their race isn't equal, so that way I don't have leverage or control over you. So in order for me to stay in the position of my comfort, I have to treat you the way. I have to talk about your hair. Excuse me. I have to talk about your hair. I have to talk about your situation. I have to talk about your power. And let's take color out of it, because I don't want people to think, oh, you're just being racist.
Right.
Okay, well, let's just do it about history. In history, men have always been the ones to go to work, right? And then there was a time frame when men had to go to war. And then when they were off at war, women had to go work at factories. And when the man came back from war, he tried to put the woman back into her place, back into the home, because he didn't want her to have the same type of power, so that way he can still have control. So a lot of it's about power, control. A lot of it's about, I don't want you to be at the same level, because if you're at the same level, then I can't tell you to do whatever I want you to do. I can't control the situation. I can't profit off of you, because of a lot of times I'm profiting, and it's just a different type of slavery. So that's why I made this movie called The Evolution of Slavery. You know, at one point we're slaves. The next point we're business partners, but we're working for each other. Well, I just want to ask this question. What is the difference between a plantation and a business? Because on a plantation, you have a slave driver, you have massa, right? Well, in business, isn't it the same structure?
Yep.
Worker bee, manager, CEO, the names have just changed, But what's scarier than a slave is one that doesn't even know that they're a slave. And if I'm the slave master and I'm in control, then I got to suppress everyone because I don't want no one to take my spot.
Right. And to your point, the only difference too is slavery now is diversified.
Of course. Of course.
Mm-hmm.
And as a man, a lot of men are even intimidated by a woman with a good job, an educated woman, because now you just can't tell her what to do, or you can't come at her with BS because she's intelligent enough to know that she doesn't need to put up with your BS because she already has her own. Mm-hmm. But a person who doesn't have becomes more desperate and will take more because they don't want to lose the possibility of the benefits that comes with being with you. So when you have a certain level of education, when you have a certain level of power, when you have a certain level of money, then you get different rules. There's a different standard. There's a different accountability. So why would I want to have to deal with that? I'm going to suppress that.
Yeah, life is so strange. I just don't understand, because like the way I see it, everybody can eat. There's opportunities for everybody. Why do we have to treat people like in a workplace? If you have a higher position of me, like a higher position than me, and treat me like I'm less than. I'm not saying this happened in all my workplaces I've worked at, but I have experienced it in some workplaces. And I just wish that it will change and we can just all really be adults and be the change that we want to see. The change that we want to see, though, is Garrett Morris getting his flowers with his star at the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I'm glad he's still alive, just so he can receive them, because sometimes people want to give your flowers when you're, gone, but he's there. He was on Scandal, All of Us, the Jamie Foxx show, the Wayans brothers show. I mean, he's the Jeffersons. He's like an icon.
Yeah. Yeah. He's been around for so long, and to be in the same circle as Harry Belafonte.
Right.
So, like, those are legends. I had a opportunity to meet Harry, before he passed away, and that was just an aha moment for me. And to also see, this young man to be able to be alive and to get his flowers and to get his star, it's just amazing. But my question is, why did it take so long? He's been around since I probably wasn't even thought of, you know what I mean? And you're just now getting recognized, but it's very well deserved. And I'm excited for him, and, congratulations.
Yes.
You know how sometimes as young actors, we feel as if we have to be the lead. We have to be in the top spot every time. This young man has a career of longevity, and he didn't have to be the lead all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have to be the biggest star on the show. This is what I call consistency. God, I want to be a star. I want to be the lead. But if I can just get consistent work like that for over a legacy like this, I would be happy. See, a lot of times everybody want to be the lead singer, but your greatness doesn't have to just come from being the lead. Your greatness is from the opportunity of just being there and being around it. Like his impact on the culture and what he's done for African Americans, just for our people, just for his longevity is amazing. And I pray that one day I could have a career that you have, sir. I pray that I'm able to follow in the footsteps of the trail that you blazed. I believe it's amazing. I'm so happy that you're alive to get your star, because then when you finally get the star, you'll be able to sit back and just look at the game tape of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone sees the stars, but everyone doesn't understand the journey. Because could you imagine what it was like to be an actor when he first started? I mean, we just got done talking about the workplace when it comes to women and, African-American women in the workplace or whatever else, right? But can we imagine the time? Because he didn't start in 2024. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have certain equal rights that we have now. So when he first started, what he went against and what he had to deal with, and how he probably had to swallow his pride and, hold on to what he really wanted to speak out about, because there wasn't a social media during his time frame when he first started. You know what I mean? He went through something that we couldn't even imagine because we never even seen what it really looked like. But for him to be strong enough to hold on, to be the Jackie Robinson, to have a LeBron James career in the NBA, to be in the industry this long and doing this in anything in life for that amount of time takes a certain type of hunger. You have to have a different type of mindset. So I just appreciate them.
Yeah, definitely a living legend for sure. I mean, that longevity is something serious. People dream about being on all of those shows and having longevity like that. And he has been able to accomplish it, and he's receiving his flowers for it. And congratulations.
That part.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. And I feel like if any young upcoming actors would like to look at a legacy, I challenge you, because you have to understand the business. You know what I mean? You can have the talent, but there's two words. It's called show and business. I challenge you to look at his career and how he handled his business while doing the show in order to have the longevity that he had, because his longevity just didn't come from the talent. It came from how he handled business, how he showed up on set, and his professionalism and the things that he's done is the reason why he can get booked. Because it's one thing to get in the room, y'all, which we all know. It's another thing to stay in it.
Fact.
Yeah, and to your point, King, a lot of times, you know, people and young people think that people are overnight success. No, you know, as you can see, he put years and years, decades into his craft, and now he's just receiving a star. You have Kevin Hart that put years and years into his craft, and now he's a well-known comedian. Tiffany Haddish, myself, been here 19 years. I'm still scratching the surface. You know what I'm saying? And we collaboratively probably shoot.
Hey. You can't give them no years. You can't be giving them years. You can't be giving them our years because, you know, we look good.
I'm just saying, but, you know, the fact that, you know, you have to really, if you believe in what you're doing, and if you feel like God called you for this industry, you have to be able to maintain a sense of integrity, a sense of, you know, grit.
Yeah.
It's going to be grimy out here. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a hard interior, because at the end of the day, like King said earlier, your no is nothing but a stepping stone, but it's how you're going to handle it. You know how many no's this man probably got or had, and he's still here, still standing? Come on, somebody.
Right. Preach to us, y'all. Preach to us.
Like Les Brown says, the richest place is the graveyard for all the potential, for all the unborn ideas. That's all of us who had an idea, but we wasn't willing to consistently go after it. And we died not living to our fullest potential. And there's a book called 3 Feet from Gold. Don't let that be your story where you're willing to give up. There's a cleaner called 409, but it got it got its name because it took 409 times to get the formula right. How many no's are you willing to go through to get your yes? Because technically all it takes is the one right yes.
Just one. Literally just one to open up all those doors.
Yep. And it's crazy because, like I said before in a previous podcast that we did, you have to evaluate your circle. If your circle is not in the same alignment to where you're trying to go, you're not going to get to your dreams, your aspirations, or goals. Anybody that's around me, if I have opportunity, I'm bringing them with me, especially if I see potential and I see things that's in you for greatness. Like, I'm not going to just leave that at the wayside. No, because we, at the end of the day, together, we are bigger and better.
Yeah.
This is a new rise of the industry. The old people, the older people, they're phasing out. You don't really see what's his name, Denzel Washington, doing stuff right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's time for us to get together, have that circle of people that understand when I'm weak, you're picking me up. When I feel like I want to, you know, give up on my dreams, nah, sis, you got this. Take 2 days off, but come back in it hard. You know what I'm saying? The times when you're crying and nobody know that you're crying about, oh, I ain't got no job right now. It's a strike, so I don't know where I'm gonna pay my rent. I don't have food right now because it's a strike. Ain't bringing no money in. You have that circle of people that understand this and not judging you. You know what I'm saying? So your circle is very vital to your success and where you're trying to go in this industry.
I agree. And Denzel said this when I was working with him. He said, they don't need the next Denzel because they already got me. And you can't be me better than me. The next you. But the problem is too many people are trying to be like someone else and they're not just being themselves. You right? You feel me? You're not embracing your own God-given uniqueness, your own gift within you. Now, you can understand why there are return on investment and use that, but never forget the essence of you, because you have to know that you are enough.
Yeah.
And knowing that, that means you got to get in the gym. You got to work out. There's steps to this. It just don't happen because you say you want it to happen. If I go to the gym right now, one time I'm not going to get in shape. But if I consistently stay in the gym, eventually my body's going to change because of my consistency and my discipline. Well, it's the same thing when it comes to your success. How consistent will you be to make it happen?
How consistent will you be? And that's another great episode of Culture Minute.
Yes.
Yes, it was lit, y'all. I am Gentel Sharrie.
I'm Sarina Renee.
And I'm your boy, King Jaquel Martin.